calm. Petey was rubbing her down, relaxing her the entire time, which is his experience was really the experience and the training that Ken Peters received being a trainer for the last 16 years is what helped the situation. Kasaka was actually calm at the surface. What people saw was a trainer, you know, certainly not in the most comfortable situation, but a trainer that was basically in control of that situation.
Jack, thank you. We'll see you Monday for the taping.
All right, thanks,
as we always do our semi-annual event with Jack Hanna. Julie, great seeing you.
Great seeing you, Larry. You too, Jack.
Always looking forward to go down to SeaWorld. Julie Scardina and Jack Hanna. When we come back, the man whose sexual harassment allegations forced politician James McGreevey out of the closet and out of the New Jersey governor's mansion. Don't go away.
I realized it was perhaps, sadly, more about proximity to power than actual love.
Feel betrayed?
Yeah, but I also betrayed him.
At Fred Meyer and Littman Jewelers, this 1-carat total weight diamond ring is $595. But during our 3-day sale, save $396 and pay only $199.
For all those special times.
Fred Meyer and Littman Jewelers.
Cholesterol. It can come from fettuccine Alfredo, but also from your grandpa Alfredo, from barbecue ribs, and from your grandma Barbie. A healthy diet is important. When that's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Cholesterol comes from 2 sources, food and family. Vytorin treats 2 sources. Only Vytorin helps block the absorption of cholesterol from food and reduces the cholesterol your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was also proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. So eat right, stay active. But if that's not enough, ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. 2 sources of cholesterol. Treat them both with Vytorin.
Tomorrow on 360, a reaction to Pope Benedict's visit to Turkey and his encounter with Islam. A 360 special, 360 tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern.
At Rasmussen BMW, it isn't about how many cars are sold. It's about customers and a buying and ownership experience that can't be found at any other luxury car store. That's the Rasmussen BMW difference. At Rasmussen, you'll find new and certified pre-owned BMWs and special BMW lease and finance rates like those available now on the 2006 325 Ci. And you'll find Rasmussen people. Discover the Rasmussen BMW difference at Southwest Jefferson at 20th.
We're the Slowskis. I'm Bill, and this is my wife, Carolyn.
Hi.
We tried Comcast high-speed internet, but...
Everything downloaded so quickly.
Yeah.
We felt rushed.
Rushed
Yeah.
is a good way to describe it. With DSL, we can download way slower than Comcast high-speed internet.
It's perfect. I mean, his middle name is Slow.
My middle name is Matthew.
I was joking.
Oh.
Go way faster than DSL with Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcasting.
Funny man Louis Black rants and raves at all the latest news. Larry King, tomorrow, 9 Eastern.
I engaged in an adult consensual affair with another man.
Who was that alleged other man in one of the biggest bombshells in recent American political history? Golan Sepel joined Jim McGreevey's campaign for New Jersey governor in 2001 after holding several government jobs in his native Israel. After McGreevey was elected, he hired Sepel as an aide. Even before McGreevey's sensational resignation, there had been questions about Sepel's background, qualifications, and his status as an Israeli, not an American citizen. Why did you put Mr. Sepel on the payroll?
I wanted him close to me.
So it was a selfish reason?
Yeah, sure.
Sepel resigned his post in 2002 and was reportedly preparing a sexual harassment suit against McGreevey when the governor stepped down and came out in 2004. While McGreevey says they were lovers, Sepel tells a very different story. And we now welcome to Larry King Live Golan Sepel, who is named by the New Jersey governor as his lover. He claims there was no gay affair between them. Did you file a sexual harassment suit?
No, eventually I decided not to file it.
Why?
It was a difficult decision, Larry, but I had only 2 weeks or so to decide, and the statute of limitation was very, very short. For me, the fact that McGreevey decided to resign was enough to know that this man will never be in a position of power and we will never be able to do what he did to me to other people.
All right, are you saying tonight unequivocally you had nothing to do with participating in this relationship?
Absolutely. It was sexual harassment and sexual assault.
And then the question has to be asked, are you gay?
No, and I said it very, very many times. It's quite embarrassing because on one hand, you don't want to embarrass the gay community. It's a difficult question. On the other hand, I want to tell the truth. But Larry, the fact is that Jim McGreevey wanted to turn it into a gay, straight issue, which is not. The issue here is about sexual assault and sexual harassment.
When you went to work for him, when you met him, did you think he was gay?
No. I didn't think. I met a guy who was divorced. He spoke a lot about his ex-wife. He spoke about his new wife, Dina, and she was pregnant. I didn't suspect anything. I didn't have...
Did you suspect about getting that kind of job without all those qualifications?
No, and there's a lot of misunderstanding about my qualification because the job I had was not the Homeland Security advisor and the Homeland Security czar. My job at the governor's office was consular to the governor, and I had several portfolios. One of them was to be responsible in the governor's office on Homeland Security, and that was a technical job. The fact is that McGreevey lied about it. He lied about it, and he admitted in his book. He didn't know how to handle it later, and he lied more and more like he always do. Eventually, the media did not accept his story.
Do you now believe that he hired you because he wanted to have a relationship with you?
Look, I can't answer that question.
You believe it?
I do believe that he had a hidden agenda, and I do believe that when he saw me back in Israel, he thought about it, but at that time I didn't see any signs.
Here's a clip when James McGreevey was on Larry King Live back in September after he'd written his book. We were talking about your denials of any sexual involvement with him. Let's take a look at what he said. Now, what do you make of him in Israel the other day when the book came out?
Yeah.
Denying that he's gay, that he ever had, that it was all forced. You forced yourself upon him.
Yeah.
Is this he says, she says?
Yeah. There's no advantage in me telling this story except the truth. And I stand by every word in that book. It's the truth. And, I wish him his peace. But for him, ironically, this thing has been painful for my wife and my family. But for Golan Sepel, the irony is I never would have come out.
Did you meet him in Israel?
Yes.
He was on a state visit. Was he governor?
No. At that time, he was a mayor, and he was thinking of running again for governor.
I see. Did you like him?
We were hosting this delegation when we were nice to everybody. Nothing in particular, nothing who looks different. But as far as I'm concerned, he looked like a normal guy, and we had a very good conversation.
At one point during a visit to the city, you were seated next to each other, and he whispered something in your ear. What was it?
Right. During this trip, when McGreevey started to speak to me, he decided that he needs to convince me to come and join with working for him in the campaign. And at one point, he was sitting next to me and whispered in my ear and said, "What are you doing here? This is too small for you. You should come to America. You'll do much better in America than you do in Israel." And at that time, I didn't decide if that's what I want to do. And it looks very weird to me that someone who just know me in such a short time will offer me a job working on the campaign. But that's what he did shortly after.
Now, on your website, which is, by the way, sepelgolan.com, you do it, Sepel, the reverse, right? You talk about following him upstairs at his home that night. He started towards the den when suddenly he turned very abruptly, pushed me extremely hard into his bedroom and toward his bed. I was in shock. I froze in disbelief. I asked him what he was doing. Both of his hands were on my chest. He pushed me back onto the bed, jumped on top of me, trying to pin me to the bed and kiss me. We wrestled, and then he just stopped, got off the bed, and was standing on one side of the room while I stood on the other. I was in total shock. I never imagined something like this could happen and had never been prepared myself for the possibility. Why then didn't you just say goodbye?
Well, Larry, that's actually a very good question. I think a lot of people are asking the same question, and I have to tell you that even for me, it was a very difficult question to answer to myself. But the fact is that that's something I've learned during the past several years, is that victims of sexual harassment behave that way. It takes them a lot of time to recognize what happened to them. It takes them a lot of time to admit to themselves that that's what happened to them. You're in deep denial. It's a lot of embarrassment. And here's a guy that you respect. Here's the guy who's a governor, and a very powerful governor, who had security details around him. And you're very confused. If you asked me before, Larry, what would you do if a man will attack you? I would say I would punch him in the face. But the fact is that I froze. The fact is that I didn't know how to act.
But why didn't you quit?
Well, first, McGreevy asked me not to speak about it. And I decided, the whole story is that he tried to get me drunk, and then he kind of explained to me that he had too much to drink. And I thought, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'll just continue and ignore it. And that's also an excuse that a victim of sexual harassment use. I'll try to ignore it. Maybe he didn't know, maybe he didn't understand. But that's, of course, a mistake.
Did it happen again a lot?
No. There was another incident when he exposed himself shortly after. It was in his house before he moved to the governor's mansion. And he used to meet with the aides in his private condo. I sat on one side of the room, and he was in a hospital bed because he broke his leg at that time. There was another aide who was eating, someone who was very close to McGreevy, and the wife and the new baby. The new baby was on the floor.
So how did he expose himself to you?
Yes. The wife
left the room?
The wife went to the kitchen. McGreevy had a broken leg. He was on a hospital bed. The other aide left to the kitchen. McGreevy exposed himself. He started to masturbate and was patting the bed and said, "Come sit next to me." And of course, I was in shock. I said, "I'm leaving." And then the other aide came from the kitchen and heard me saying, "I'm leaving." He was going towards the governor, wanted to shake his hand, and the governor was pulling him, trying to kiss him on the lips.
The aide?
The other aide who was there.
We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Do you think if you had announced early on in life that you were gay, you could have been a governor?
No. I think I could have been elected governor, and if I had the courage to say, God, this is who I am, and prayed about it, thought about it, and came to that conclusion. And if I had been, told my wife and told the people around me and my family, and then went to the state of New Jersey and said, "Hey, look, this is my reality." But I would have never had the courage to do that.
All right, guys, keep your eyes open. You don't know what you're gonna see. If you look to your right, you'll see a tropical rainforest, huh? Lucky day. To your left, a scantily clad native. Kung Pao.
There's no substitute for a real vacation. So call now to apply for the City Advantage card, and you'll be on a fantastic vacation in no time. That's because every dollar you spend on purchases earns you one American Airlines Advantage mile, with no blackout dates.
We're seeing all sorts of things on this safari, kids.
Plus, you'll earn 20,000 Advantage bonus miles. So call now, 1-877-BONUS-18 to get started. You'll even get a free companion certificate with ticket purchase, all with no annual fee for 12 months.
Oh, kids, look! Caribou!
The City Advantage card. Turn everyday purchases into a real vacation.
Hey, look! A zebra!
Call City now to apply.
Great news. Daily consumption of certain plant extracts called phytonutrients can significantly reduce your cholesterol. But to receive these heart-healthy benefits, you'd have to consume an extra 18 ears of corn or 6 heads of lettuce every day. Luckily, now there's a simple solution from Nature Made. Nature Made Cholestoff. Cholestoff reduces cholesterol up to 24% on average in just 30 days.
After taking Cholestoff, my numbers went from 282 down to 210 in 6 months.
I could not really believe that Cholesterol worked so well. Very pleased with it.
I'm very happy, and my doctor's happy and somewhat surprised.
Get the facts. Call now for this free brochure and special coupons worth up to $7 off Cholestoff and other Nature Made health solutions. The answer to lowering your cholesterol is in Cholestoff.
Cholestoff is available without a prescription in the vitamin aisle. Call 1-800-890-4498 or visit us online.
It's a high-speed, low-carb, Wi-Fi, half-calf, handheld, megapixel, blog surfing, on-demand, bonus-featured, 700 thread count, instant gratification, multitasking world out there. Your news should be the same. CNN Pipeline. Multiple, simultaneous, live news streams, direct to your desktop, with no commercials. Take a test drive at cnn.com/pipeline. CNN Pipeline. Ride your world.
Tomorrow, in American Morning exclusive, former President Bill Clinton, the best-selling author Rick Warren, Senator Barack Obama, why the world still cares about World AIDS Day on a special edition of American Morning. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern.
When belief is worth dying for, when faith rocks civilization to its core, and religion becomes revolution. A special CNN presents After Jesus, Wednesday, December 20th.
We're back with Golan Sepel, who was involved in the James McGreevey story and his leaving the governorship of New Jersey. By the way, one of our producers contacted that aide, and he said that never happened.
Right, he denied. I mean, most of those aides and people who work with McGreevey are still very close to him, and either they're afraid or they have jobs and they would not put themselves in risk.
Do your friends back in Israel believe you?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I got a lot of good press. One of the leading newspapers, Yediot Aharonot, and a very important newspaper journalist by the name of Yuval Karni, which is, I call him my Emil Zola, with a wonderful article. So I'm not concerned about Israel. Israelis take it very seriously. I'm concerned about what happened in America.
And you've never had a gay relationship of any
No,
kind?
absolutely not. And you have to understand, Larry, I've been under scrutiny for so long by the media, by the Republicans, by the Democrats, and by McGreevey. McGreevey, even in his book admit that he sent a private investigator to Israel. If they want to find anything about me related to corruption or anything bad, they would have done it and they would have written about it.
When former Governor McGreevey was on this show, he told his own version of what he said was the first time the two of you were intimate. I want you to look and give me your reaction. You came on with him, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is we never discussed being gay. We never talked about it.
It just happened one night?
It happened. But then even when you continue it, it's just like, you're not admitting to...
You never said, I'm gay, you're gay.
No.
Never used the word.
No, you never used the word. The word is something that's...
But you had relations.
Oh, yeah.
McGreevey said, Golan, that you were more of the teacher than the student when it came to lovemaking, that he feels you're gay but deeply closeted. Your thoughts?
Well, in the book, when you read it, it's all about what McGreevey think or what he thought about. And when he sat next to me, when he speak about relationship, and then when you read it very thoroughly, he's talking about political relationship. But then he said, but in my mind, I thought, that doesn't really work. I think people need to read the book very, very thoroughly. For example, in his book, he writes in page 255, he said, of course, I thought that Golan, in one point, I thought that Golan isn't gay. How is that works with those vivid description of lovemaking? If McGreevey thought I'm not gay, how did he have a relationship with me? In this clip, he speaks about not talking about it. Larry, did you ever have a relationship when you didn't talk with the other person? That's not true. Doesn't exist.
When he started saying all this, how'd you react?
Now on television?
No, yeah, when he came out, and when he came out of the closet, and then he discussed that you were his lover. How did you?
First, you need to know, I didn't know any of this. During the negotiation, we talked about sexual harassment. It took McGreevey a long time to admit to his lawyers that he sexually harassed me, and then they started to negotiate with me and offering money to
He offered you money?
Absolutely, he offered me money to go away, but they never ever mentioned a love affair. So only towards the end of the negotiation, I got a telephone call from one of those people who said to me, you know, the governor is going to resign. And I thought at that time that if the governor is going to resign, that's the right thing to do, because he sexually harassed me, and it's not just unethical, it's illegal.
Why didn't you take the money?
My lawyer did negotiate with McGreevy's legal team, and we were ready to settle it. But I think for McGreevy, the most important thing was that they want to know what will be the assurances that I would never, ever speak. And we tried to convince him, I mean, my attorney tried to convince him that that's going to be the case. I don't know what happened.
You had no intention of speaking?
No, I didn't have any intention to speak at all, even before that. It happened.
So if he had just said, I'm gay, I'm resigning, never mentioned you, no problem.
But that's not what happened. What happened was that I filed a lawsuit against him, and then McGreevy started to negotiate, and then eventually when he realized that he cannot win the negotiation, he decided to resign. That was the order of things.
So when he said you were more of the teacher, how do you react to that?
I can't react to every, we have to distinguish between McGreevy's attempt to sell books and the reality. But the reality is that even if when you read the book, there's so many contradictions. In the beginning of the book, he writes about talking to his wife, and his wife asking him, are you gay? Towards the end of the book, he said, well, maybe she didn't really ask me that question. When he's been asked about corruption, which he's been involved in, he said, well, my memory is not that good. So if your memory is not good, don't write a memoir. That's the problem. So let's distinguish between writing books and selling books and reality.
Just ahead, the job that Governor McGreevy gave Golan and the controversy about his qualifications, a lot more too when we come back. Are you taking all the blame?
On this relationship?
Yeah, no, this whole story. Are you saying,
oh yeah,
I'm the wrongful one, I did wrong?
I did wrong. I did wrong. What I did was wrong. I mean, I was married, I was governor of the state of New Jersey. How insane was it to be acting out and having a relationship?
Do you often struggle to get to sleep at night? Do you wake in the night and can't go back to sleep? Maybe it's time to ask your doctor if Lunesta's right for you. For a limited time, you're invited to take the Lunesta 7-Night Challenge. Ask your doctor how to get 7 nights of Lunesta absolutely free and see if it's the sleep aid you've been looking for. Non-narcotic Lunesta helps you fall asleep quickly, so take it right before bed. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active, because Lunesta will help you sleep all through the night. Until you know how you react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Hurry! The Lunesta 7-Night Challenge is only available for a limited time. Get your coupon at lunesta.com and ask your doctor today.
I gotta tell you, business is booming. FedEx helps solve all our shipping challenges. Overnight, ground, even the heavy stuff. FedEx Express also ships internationally. These things are selling like hotcakes in India. India, huh? Now, isn't it difficult to ship there, with customs and all? Yeah. With online tools and a dedicated customer service team, FedEx makes it easy.
Goose, this is Iceman. We've got a wild bird.
FedEx. International shipping made easy.
Oh, I turn on the Roomba and it goes do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do-do. I know that it's about to do a great service for me.
It is a full-featured robot.
It gets under the sofa.
While it's vacuuming, you can do something else.
Over 1 million people have discovered a remarkable new way to vacuum their floors. Try Roomba risk-free for 30 days.
This is the ultimate multitasking machine. I love robots.
I love robots.
I love robots.
The iRobot Roomba. And now there's another robot to love. Meet Scuba, the robot that mops.
Suffolk County 911.
I need help.
Where are you at?
Well, ma'am, I don't know exactly, but I'm freezing, and my girlfriend's here is freezing.
Mike, I want to help you so bad, hon. I want to find out where you're at.
My phone's just about to die. You're my last chance here. We're scared. Please help us.
This seat is different.
Now I'm in big trouble.
It's the only place some will sit and talk.
I am still amazed at how much people did for me.
Here, people open up to me.
I didn't want to have any secrets from the audience.
I've heard some amazing stories. Talked with incredible people from all over the world.
Turn off the cameras. We can keep talking.
Every night, I learn something new. And so will you. I can't wait to see who sits here next.
And so my truth is that I am a gay American. And I am blessed to live in the greatest nation, with a tradition of civil liberties, the greatest tradition of civil liberties in the world, and a country which provides so much to its people.
By the way, you can get onto his website, seepulgolan.com. It's S-E-E, right?
CIPL,
right.
Golan.
GOLAN.com for any further information. Our guest is Mr. Seipel, and we're discussing the matter with Jim McGreevey. You mentioned in this conversation sexual assault. Your lawsuit was sexual harassment. Is that the same?
Yeah, it's the same.
That's what I thought.
Harassments, we did file against harassments also because McGreevey was also interfering in my life in other ways, but the main thing was sexual harassment and sexual assault.
You were grabbed.
Absolutely. He was using violence in the first incident and the third incident in the car.
There were three altogether, right?
Yeah, the third incident happened when we were driving to Washington in a very large white van. There was three state troopers who sat in the front, and McGreevey asked the security details to take the seats out because he wanted to lie on the floor. And they had mattresses, and they were used to the drill. I sat at the back, and at one point I fell asleep. And we were driving to D.C., and at one point I saw the governor rubbing his penis against my foot. And Larry, I can't describe to you in words what it feels. It's the most humiliating.
Did you push him away?
What I did is I pushed one of my legs out, and then he grabbed the other one, and then I pushed the right one, and I was aiming it towards his face, and I was ready to hit him. I didn't care anymore that there's state troopers. I didn't care where we are. And it's a very, very difficult situation. You don't really know what to do. This is an absurd. We're driving in a state car, 2 D.C., 3 state troopers, and the governor is grabbing my leg, humping it like a dog. And the only thing you do
is you quit that day.
And that's what I did. After that, I met with the governor, and I said to him, I'm leaving. That's it. And his answer was very clear. You're not going anywhere. He started to yell at me. You stay in here until the day you die. And the phrase he used was, until you dip in the ground. And I started to realize this is like a John Gershon movie, you know, when you see the film. You got into a place which looked beautiful. Everybody in suits, everybody are very professional. Everything looks great.
He says he said after that trip you had a great lovemaking session in a hotel.
No, that's not true, because McGreevey doesn't have a good memory. He admitted in the book, and that's the only part in the book that I agree with him.
What happened after when the trip ended?
Shortly after I actually left government.
You didn't spend that night with him?
What happened at that place was I asked for a room, and the answer I got from the governor's office that the aide has to be with the governor in the same room because the governor wants to save taxpayers' money. And this is the same person who spent so much money on helicopter and trips abroad. I asked for a separate room, and that's what was promised to me. That didn't happen, and I had to lock myself in the bathroom. Lock myself in the bathroom.
In the governor's suite?
No, in the governor's suite in the hotel, because I was embarrassed.
You slept in the bathroom?
I slept on the floor on a towel because I was afraid to stay with him in the same room.
Let's take a look at a clip of what McGreevey had to say about your qualifications for the job he gave you. Watch. Was that a political kind of payoff?
It was a political position. It was the office, the counsel of the governor, in the governor's office. So it's a consultant role, and it's typically somebody that you would.
Then he got to be security, right?
No, he was involved in it, but Larry, he was never. I mean, he was never head of security. I mean, that in the state of New Jersey is under the Attorney General's office and something called the Domestic Security Preparedness Task Force. He was never a member of it, but he did work on Homeland Security in terms of advising me. I mean, the point is, he should have never been on the payroll.
Didn't you question why you were on the payroll?
No, I think, in politics, especially between two countries like Israel and America, there are Americans who work in Israel in politics, and there are Israelis who work in America. And I want to tell you one thing that is very, very important. When I came to this country, I didn't come as a foreigner. I came as a new immigrant. And there are new immigrants in this country who work in the government, like they're lawyers and doctors.
You worked at the Israeli consulate, right?
That's way before. But when I made a choice to come and work here, I decided that I'm going to be a new immigrant, that I'm going to stay in this country. But when I decided to, when I started working on the campaign, I didn't have any inspirations. When McGreevy called me to work on the campaign, he said, "Come for 1 year, work on the campaign, and then you can move on." And at the end of the campaign, we had this conversation when he asked me to join his administration, and I asked him, I'm not an American yet, and even if I start my immigration process, it's going to take a while. And he said, "I'm the most powerful governor in the nation. I can appoint whoever I want, and if I want you to be my advisor and my counselor, that's it." And that was McGreevy's approach.
He said he was the most powerful governor in the nation.
Absolutely. He used to repeat it again and again and again.
Let me get a break, and we'll come back with more of this fascinating, exclusive interview with Golan. Did you ever do anything wild while governor?
Well,
other than Golan?
Larry, that was more than enough.
So Golan was the only
yes
sexual experience with a man while governor?
Yes.
Larry King Monday, exclusive. Her fiancé killed by 50 police bullets hours before their wedding. A city is outraged. She calls it murder. Now the bride-to-be's first interview. Larry King exclusive, Monday 9 Eastern, only on CNN.
This World AIDS Day, end the prejudice, stop the spread, take action. We will. Special coverage CNN all day tomorrow.
It's time to start.
Ready, go.
See what a blue man does to a rock show. How to be a megastar tour. Blue Man Group hits the stage with their electrifying arena rock show.
Rock concert movement #1.
Comcast welcomes Blue Man Group live.
Here are your instructions.
Saturday, February 3rd, Memorial Coliseum. Tickets on sale December 9 through ComcastTix.com. Don't miss Blue Man Group for one night only.
At Rasmussen BMW, it isn't about how many cars are sold. It's about customers and a buying and ownership experience that can't be found at any other luxury car store. That's the Rasmussen BMW difference. At Rasmussen, you'll find new and certified pre-owned BMWs and special BMW lease and finance rates like those available now on the 2006 325 Ci. And you'll find Rasmussen people. Discover the Rasmussen BMW difference at Southwest Jefferson at 20th.
Because parenting in today's world can be overwhelming, you need Parenting Today, the only television show offering you advice about your kids. With topics ranging from serious to fun, we cover it all. Discipline, allowance, fun activities for everyone. Build a stronger family by watching Parenting Today. Saturday mornings at 9 and Thursday evenings at 6:30. Only on Comcast Channel 14.
We were one of the first biodiesel companies in the country, one of those classic businesses that started in a garage. And over the course of time, we've actually built our business off of our website. It's still the #1 place people find out where they can buy biodiesel in Oregon. We really rely on Comcast Workplace to do the work that we do. I'm bringing in emails that are 10 megs, and it amazes me how fast they load, 5 times faster than DSL. We looked at other high-speed options, but they all came up empty. With Comcast Workplace, we're not waiting, we're actually getting work done.
AC 360, CNN tomorrow night, 10 Eastern.
If Golan Sipel thought he could slip away from New Jersey and the scandal enveloping the governor there, he was wrong. The Israeli-born former aide to James McGreevy going home to a suburb outside Tel Aviv, to his parents, and to a mob of waiting cameras, making his first televised statement.
I've had a very difficult time. I've come to Israel to be with my family at this time. I cannot expand on anything for legal reasons.
Well, we're back with Golan, who said an extraordinary thing to me during the break. He said he does not think James McGreevy is gay. What?
No, I don't believe that. That's part of the spin.
Spin to be gay. Why?
I believe that Jim McGreevey is bisexual. But Larry, can you imagine this dramatic press conference when Jim McGreevey is coming out and saying, but the truth is, I'm proud to be a bisexual American.
And he's got a gay lover now?
No, yeah, but I don't know about that. I do believe that he's attracted to men. But Jim McGreevey was attracted to women. I would never believe that story. Even the fact that I knew his secret and what happened with me, he still spoke about heterosexual sex. He spoke about prostitutes. For example, McGreevey, and he used to brag about it, said to me once that he, after the visit to Auschwitz, to the death camp in Auschwitz, brought prostitutes to the hotel. He and another aide had sex with prostitutes in the hotel. He said the same thing about having sex with prostitutes in the Dominican Republic. Those were official visits. He had sex with prostitutes in New Jersey and denied it in certain point. And then in his book he said there was one prostitute, but he didn't know what to do with her, so he sent her to a vacation. That's a very poor excuse. Something here is wrong. I mean, I think McGreevey had no choice. There was a sexual harassment lawsuit against him. He didn't know what to do, and his advisor told him, come out first. If you come out first, you will be perceived as the victim. You have control over the story, and that's what he chose to do.
What happened when you got back to Israel? What happened when you left?
When I left to Israel, I didn't plan to stay in Israel. The reason I went back to Israel is because I want to be with my family. You have to understand, Larry, my parents' apartment in my hometown, Rishon LeZion, was surrounded by American journalists.
Did they all know the story there?
Oh, yeah, of course. And I want to be with them. I want to control and manage this crisis there. If my family lived in Philadelphia or Chicago, that's where I would go. But the fact is my family lived in Israel, and I want to be with them. I didn't plan to stay, but shortly after, I got a threat letter in Israel. Said, watch your back, we know where you are, and it signs Jim's body. And Larry, my father was the one who brought me this letter, with shaking hands, and said to me, Golan, I'm afraid. Even now, before I got into this show, I got a message from my mother on my cell phone, said, you're going to be on Larry King, but what's going to happen after? And she's worried, and a lot of people in Israel are worried. But the fact is, I decided to speak, and I decided to tell the truth. And I did speak with the FBI about it. I asked them if my life is in danger, and they assured me that they believe that it's not. But I did get threat letters. I saw people coming out of my building. My phones were tapped. In the course of those years, my life was a nightmare.
We have an email from Kathy in Newburgh, New York. Golan, what regrets, if any, do you have for what became the fate of the governor?
What does he mean? What does she mean by fate?
Do you feel you brought down the governor?
Look, I'm not seeking for revenge. I never did seek for revenge. The fact was that I wanted the governor to leave me alone. And we had the last telephone conversation. And when I called him and I said, Governor, I'm asking you not to call me again. I don't want to do anything with you. Leave me alone. Let me live my life quietly. And he started to get scared. McGreevey was always afraid that I will turn to a loose cannon. And I tried to manage it with him. I tried to make him feel that I'm not doing anything, I'm not putting him in danger. The minute he realized that I'm asking him not to call again, that's where things started to get bad. I started to get the threat letters in the mail. I started to have telephone calls from a lot of people asking me, what are you doing? Where are you? I moved to New York. I tried to hide. I didn't move to New York because I wanted to live there. I was escaping to New York.
So when McGreevey says that you were the one that tried to keep up the contact, that's false.
Absolutely. I mean, during those years, McGreevey would call me again from different cell phone, and I would return calls because I tried to, he always called it, be nice. And McGreevey worked, I have to admit, almost in a mafia style.
We've got to get a break, and we'll come back with our remaining moments. We'll ask Golan what he's going to do now. Don't go away.
I want to treat my osteoporosis.
I want to keep my bones healthy.
I want to protect myself against fractures, especially at the hip.
I can help.
Fosamax Plus D treats postmenopausal osteoporosis.
My doctor prescribed Fosamax Plus D, and she said not all treatments are the same.
Only Fosamax Plus D is approved to help prevent fractures of both the hip and spine in women with osteoporosis. Boniva is not.
Protecting my hip is important to me. You should not use Fosamax Plus D if you have certain disorders of the esophagus, are not able to stand or sit upright for 30 minutes, have severe kidney disease, or low blood calcium. Before use, talk to your doctor if you have stomach or digestive problems and about any medications you're taking, including vitamins and supplements. It's not for vitamin D deficiency. Stop taking Fosamax Plus D and call your doctor right away if you develop new or worsening heartburn, difficult or painful swallowing, or chest pain, because these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. I listened. I heard.
Fosamax Plus D, the only one that protects both your hip and spine.
For each of us, there's a moment of discovery. We see that all of life is elemental. And as we marvel at element bonding with element, we soon realize that when you add the human element to the equation, the chemistry changes. We find a way of seeing that gives us a way of touching. Issues, ambitions, lives. The human element. Nothing is more fundamental. Nothing more elemental.
The perfect Christmas gift. The Jewelry Exchange has 3-stone rings for $149, diamond heart pendants for $79, and quarter-carat studs for $49. Buy factory direct The Jewelry Exchange with superstores nationwide or go online at jewelryexchange.com.
My souvenir from this trip? Back pain. Went from bad to worse. But now I wear this Thermacare heat wrap for 8 hours of heat and 16 hours of relief. 16 hours! I could use these every day. And now Thermacare is sponsoring an amazing road trip sweepstakes. Design a dream vacation and win a new Mercedes SUV. Hotel, food, gas, it's all included. So check out Thermacare.com and enter to win. Thermacare. Have heat, we'll travel.
This CNN Hummer saw the war. Now it will help those who fought it. After a cool new overhaul, it'll be auctioned off to benefit Fisher House, a home away from home for families of patients being treated at major military hospitals. To find out more, go to fisherhouse.org.
By the way, Golan was for 5 years an officer in the Israeli Navy. We have a statement from former New Jersey Governor James McGreevey. I stand behind the truth and accuracy of every word in this book. Golan and I had a consensual sexual relationship which lasted for months. The purpose of the book speaks to the need for honesty and transparency throughout our lives, and my only wish for Golan is that he finds peace and acceptance in his life. Reaction?
Well, the reaction is once a liar, always a liar. McGreevey is a man who lied so many times.
So the statement doesn't move you at all?
Oh, no. I heard the statement. It's almost, McGreevey is even boring in his statement. I honestly don't care about McGreevey or the book. I'm here to tell my story. Those allegations, as you see them on my website, has been before the book and will be after the book. And the fact is that Jim McGreevey thinks that he can write a book, then move on, maybe through getting a job or maybe getting involved in the gay community, he can get back to public life. My point is, and I'm asking the gay community, which I respect, not to embrace McGreevey. McGreevey is a man who chose violence, is a man who committed sexual harassment to me and to others, and he should not be part of that.
What are you going to do with your life now?
Well, I have a lot of plans, and I have to tell you that I feel good. I'm moving on. I don't feel intimidated anymore. I'm not afraid to speak, and I will continue to speak. If it's giving lectures, if it's been on television, I would continue to speak about this issue because I think it's a very, very important issue, not just in America, in Israel and all over the world. There's a problem here. Sexual harassment is not a disease that we cannot cure. We have to fight, and the way to fight against this is to speak, to fight against people like McGreevey, not to be afraid that they will write books or have press conferences or would use the spin doctors to speak against them.
You spoke well tonight. You're going back to Israel now, right?
Absolutely. I would stay in America and I would come to visit. I have a lot of friends here and I would come as often as possible. And I love this country.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Our guest has been Golan Seifel, and if you want to contact him, it's seifelgolan.com. Tomorrow night, we're going to have we're going to have mirth of a good time. We're going to have a lot of laughs. Lewis Black joins us. He's angry at everything. Lewis Black, and if you want email questions to Lewis Black, go to cnn.com/Larry King.
Tonight, the White House says President Bush could change his Iraq policy within weeks, but the president says our troops in Iraq must complete their job. We'll have coverage from around the world, and the federal government has lost files on more than 100,000 people applying for American citizenship. But those officials nonetheless gave citizenship to as many as 30,000 of those people, including a suspected radical Islamist terrorist. We'll have that special report and a great deal